Thank you. What is up, everybody? I am Dragon Blitz. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Today, we are going to be running reverse boss order. It is a wild and crazy ride. I hope you guys are strapped in for this one, and I am being accompanied by two lovely friends here. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Caveman. I like PlayStation games. Dragon Blitz is my friend.
Hello, I'm Adef. I like PlayStation games. Caveman, well, they're both actually my friends. So
thank you.
That's exciting.
But yeah, this is going to be reverse boss order, as I said. This is the hardest speedrun category that exists for this game. Like, this is not marathon safe. This should not be in the marathon. I kind of tricked them to letting me do this, to be 100% honest with you guys. But, so I'm not expecting things to go perfectly. We have backup saves everywhere. We can crash the game. We can soft lock. Things can go very wrong. It's a very glitch-heavy run. But yeah, I'm going to be starting the game in luck mode. That's why you're seeing this name code up on the screen. It essentially changes my stats around a little bit to make certain glitches possible. But without further ado, I think we're ready to get into it. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Just kidding, I pressed the wrong button. False start. I'm keeping you guys on your toes. 3, 2, 1, go. For real this time. So this is the prologue for the game. We're starting as Richter. We're not going to be seeing him for very long, but during this section of the game, the things we do here do impact how we're going to be playing as Alucard later. So I'm getting a certain number of hearts here because it changes the starting items that I get, and then I'm going to be throwing those hearts away as well. This gives me access to the Neutron Bomb item and the Heart Refresh. Both of them are going to be used for glitches later on in the run. During this part of the run, I'm going to be throwing Holy Water on the ground after doing a Hydro Storm to do big damage to Dracula. This is called a damage stack. We don't really know why it happens. It's kind of random. But if we get damage stacks, he dies quicker. We didn't get one there. We got one there. And just a couple of blade dashes. Oh, he did jump, which is unfortunate. That loses a little bit of time. But, you know, loses like 3 to 5 seconds. It's not that big of a deal. So, as I said earlier, this is a reverse boss order run. This is going to be very glitch heavy because we have to skip past a lot of the intended bosses to get to the end of the game, beat the second to last final boss, because this is a reverse boss order run that does end on killing Dracula and getting the credits. So it's a reverse boss order except for that. There are other exceptions. This is like very loose in the definition of reverse boss order. And the way that we determine the boss order itself is the in-game tactics menu, which I will show off later. But for now, check out this sick damage boost. Bam. That is called a big toss. When I take more than half of my health in a singular hit, perfect number of bats there.
Perfect number of bats there.
You need to kill exactly 3. You have no idea. But yeah, if you take more than half of your health in a singular hit, you get sent flying, and we're actually going to be using that to skip past the encounter with Death. This is a cutscene where he takes away all of your powerful starting gear, but we just slide on past through. And we get to keep the Alucard sword, Alucard shield, dragon helm. Very powerful starting stuff that lets us do extra damage and will be useful for killing all the bosses in the reverse order. But from here, as I was talking about with the bats, our experience route is incredibly tight. Every single enemy we kill is scripted because we need to level up in very specific spots, and our stats need to be almost exact for a lot of the run in order to make these glitches work, because a lot of them rely on leveling up, that level up screen right there that paused the entire game. That needs to happen in very specific spots, and we're going to be taking advantage of that for some glitches. And we're coming up on one right now. As soon as I get my level set up, I'm going to kill these 2 guys, leave the room, come back, do it again. Kill this guy here. And now the next enemy I kill, these red skeletons don't count as enemies, by the way. They're just kind of vibing. The next enemy I kill will give me a level up, so I'm getting that guy on the switch, killing him now. He's going to get up later. I'm going to lure this Axe Knight over to the side. This is one of the most complicated glitches in the game, and it happens right away. This is a pixel-perfect, frame-perfect level up that I need to get here. I'm using the map to help buffer the inputs. I missed it. Map buffering in this game is also frame perfect. You have to do frame perfect inputs. This is why we have backup saves literally everywhere, because otherwise the run would not be able to continue there. Like I said, not the most marathon safe, but I'm glad I get to showcase what this game is all about when we're glitching through it. So again, doing the same exact setup here. It is, like I said, frame perfect, pixel perfect. I think we might have got it there.
That looks good to me.
Just gotta wait for the red skeleton to wake up. Lower the elevator, we jump on, jump off as it's going down, and we got it.
Nice.
I will take a second try. That is one of the hardest tricks. Not the hardest, but one of the hardest. We have, right after this, some more experience routing, so we're going to be killing specific enemies, as well as going towards the outer wall. The outer wall has some really important stuff for us, but A lot of that important stuff is guarded by a boss fight with Doppelganger 10. We can't kill him yet, so we're gonna have to find a way to skip him. The most convenient way to do that is to get a library card. It's an item that warps you directly to the library, which is past him. On the way, we're also going to be trying to get a item called a Garnet. It's a sellable gem, which will be useful for a glitch later, which is gonna give us essentially infinite money. So we can turn one gem into essentially infinite. But yeah, this is probably the best time to explain what it is that I'm doing on the ground here. This is called shield dashing. This is the fastest form of ground movement that we have right now. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing shield and then backdash, then shield, then backdash, then shield, then backdash over and over and over again to essentially keep the high starting speed of the backdash without dealing with the laggy end part. The shield is essentially what cancels it and allows you to do it over and over again. But from here, we're essentially just setting up some experience, and this is actually probably one of the best times for donations.
Alrighty, then I have a $20 donation here from Mindel Spit that said, "What is a man?" You know the rest. All right, and then I had a $50 donation here from Satoryu that said, "Sup GDQ, Satoryu." Then they said, "Sup GDQ, still in shock of how much we as a community have raised for charity after all these years. Keep being awesome, everyone. Good luck, Dragon Blitz with SotN, RBO, you're gonna slay."
Thank you, Satori.
Thanks, Satori, veteran SotN runner.
Dragon Blitz, can I ask a question?
Of course.
That frame perfect level up thing, why?
What was that?
Okay,
Yeah.
that glitch is called a reverse shift line. The name is very fancy, but it essentially allows you to skip an entire screen length by pausing the screen in a specific spot while you're scrolling the camera. It's essentially a camera scroll glitch that underflows the stored X position of Alucard, such that when you go through a load zone, it underflows that value and warps you an entire screen length. We're going to be doing a very similar glitch here in a second called a shift line. It also involves manipulating the camera and the edges of screens, but instead of warping you an entire screen length forward, it allows you to open a hole for you to fall down at the edge of a screen. And we're going to use that to get out of bounds to get to that library card. But first, we're going to make a quick pit stop here in the outer wall, ask our good friend, the Axe Knight, to help us out here because there's a ledge we can't reach, and he's just going to push us up there.
I love that big toss.
It's a good one. Now I'm setting up my inventory here to set up for that glitch. This is the most stressful glitch in the entire run. It is, again, pixel perfect, frame perfect. If I fail this trick, it's like a minute and a half to set it back up again, so I'm hoping we get it first try. Otherwise, we're gonna have lots of time for donations, which is nice.
You got this, baby.
So yeah, this is gonna be all for setting up that shift line glitch. The next enemy that I kill will give me a level up, and I need to set up that level up on a frame perfect spot, and then continue that screen freeze from the level up with the heart refresh item that we got from the beginning because of the way that we did the prologue. So I'm setting up that position right now. Wait for this guy to throw his bones. Oh, there we go.
All right.
That was a frame perfect buffer that I needed to hit there, and I'm glad we hit it. Okay, this is the flashing screen warning. In case you guys, I'm sorry, there's no other way to do this trick. It's gonna be very intense, so close your eyes, look away. It hurts, I'm so sorry. There's no other way to do this trick. It'll be over in like 15 seconds.
I'm looking.
All right.
Oh no. Okay, there we go. That's the library card item. It is
Nice
down here.
job, DB.
This gets us past the doppelganger fight. This trick was thought to be task only for a very long time, but we found setups like map buffering and like that backdash setup that I was doing to make the pixel perfect position easier to find, stuff like that. So
As far as I'm aware, it was because of the perfect number of bats.
that as well, that is genuinely part of it. The experience route is incredibly tight. So speaking of incredibly tight, I need some help from my friends here. Uh-oh, I should be fine. 21 health is enough. You know what? I'm gonna make my life a little bit easier. Get rid of this guy. I don't like him. So what I need here is I need one of these guys. Unfortunately, this guy was getting a little too close to me. I need them to activate their lightning sword attack. It is random. If I take too much damage here, I'm kind of out of luck. He's giving me nothing to work with. There he goes. Okay. Now I need to lure him all the way to the edge over here because we're going to be setting up for yet another big toss. I have just barely enough health to make this work after taking that damage there, so this is going to be a little bit scary. I'm going to give myself a little more defense. Okay. I'm going to wait for the next one. This should work. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you fail that, you do not have enough health to try again. So it's like run over. There are so many like game determinative run over tricks back to back to back to back. This is legitimately the hardest run for a reason. The whole reason we did that, by the way, is so we can grab that fairy card relic. The fairy is going to be our best friend here, as she is going to talk to us in just a second here, and her lovely words of encouragement are going to be cut off as I rudely backdash into this room.
Thank you.
And that overwrites the cutscene here. So now those two actions happening on top of each other allow me to open this menu when I'm not supposed to be able to. So I sold a garnet as I equipped it, which underflowed the value from -1 to, this game doesn't like negative numbers, so 255. So I could sell a whole bunch of them, and I have as much money as I need to buy all this super powerful stuff. The Jewel of Open I need for some stuff later on. Duplicator and Gauntlet is also very, very important, and some potions. So the Duplicator gives me infinite use of my potions here, or any throwable or single-use item, which is incredibly overpowered. It does lower my stats, but at this point, our stats are basically at minimum anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The only stat that we do have that's really high is our luck stat, hence why it's called luck mode that we started in. That was the whole point with the name code, et cetera, et cetera. Now that we have all of our potions, we have infinite usage of them, we can do a lot here. The only thing we can't do is jump very high yet. We don't have double jump, we don't have high jump, we don't have flight. So we're going to quickly get the wolf transformation, funny enough. You wouldn't think that the wolf is going to allow you to jump higher, because it doesn't on its own, but there is an oversight in this game where normally the game expects you to only be able to dive kick after a double jump, but for some reason, after untransforming from any of the transformations, you also get a dive kick, and that dive kick can be used to gain a little bit of extra height off. You can dive kick off enemies, off candles, all sorts of stuff. So that wolf relic is locked behind pressing this elevator switch. We're gonna come over here, press that elevator switch. And on top of that, so funny enough, not only is this category incredibly difficult, I also rerouted the entire thing 2 days before the event. So that was fun.
That's good.
I found a 30-second time save that required me to reroute the entire thing. But anything to save, precious, precious time. So there's that Soul of Wolf relic. Once we untransform from the wolf transformation, we will have a dive kick, which we can use to gain extra height, as I said. But also, the wolf is useful on its own, both for movement and for some glitches coming up later. We're going to immediately use it at the end of this marble gallery section here to move through the section faster than normal. So ground speed with shield dashing is about a little over twice as fast as just the normal walk speed in this game. So you're basically going to be shield dashing everywhere. However, the only thing we can't do with shield dashing is we can't do it in the air. However, the wolf's movement speed is a little bit slower than shield dashing, but you do get to keep its normal speed in the air. So what we're going to be doing is, because this section requires a lot of jumps, but it's mostly horizontal, transforming into the wolf actually ends up being faster during this section. It's a little bit harder to control because the wolf has less options of control compared to Alucard, but with a lot of practice, you can get through here without taking any damage, and I'm hoping to do that here because it saves a lot of time. Didn't get that jump there. There's a really weird slope jump you have to do, so it's still worth going for, even though we probably broke even without getting that jump there. But if I did everything well, I should have this statue open for me. Okay, good. This is called the clock cycle. Essentially, there's a statue that moves in and out of your way every other minute, and if you're fast enough on this category, it does not block you at all. Otherwise, we'd have to wait essentially an entire minute just chilling there, waiting for the statue to get out of the way. So we're on great pace, all things considered, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, let's hear it for Clock Rush.
So still a lot more prep we have to do. Basically half of this run is prep. Also big toss. Let's go.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, you can randomly get stopped on the stairs there based off of your subpixels because, of course. Yeah, this run is basically half setup. Like the first 30 minutes of this run is like collecting pieces, skipping tons of bosses, getting to the end game, unlocking warps like I just did right there. Anytime you enter a warp room, it saves it for you to come back to later, essentially at any point in time. I'm gonna use a spell to get past this guy, there we go. Both spells and potions give you invincibility, by the way. That's why I'm just like phasing through these enemies. So I'm just trying to stay invincible to not die, because those enemies can kill you in one hit if you are trying to mess with them, and you should not try and mess with them. So coming up here, we're in the Colosseum because, again, like I said, we're trying to set up. There is the Form of Mist here, which is required to get the Soul of Bat, the best relic in the game for movement and glitches and all sorts of fun stuff. But it's locked behind a boss fight, so I'm setting up yet another incredibly convoluted trick here to try and get it. I'll explain it after I do the trick because, yeah, that was frame 1. That was frame 2, I believe. If this doesn't work, yeah, that was actually frame 1. I think this isn't gonna work. Yeah, okay, I can set it up again. It's not the end of the world. I do need to get a little bit more experience. This is where the experience route gets a little bit loosey, and that's fine, 212, okay. So I need to level up on a very specific spot, and these guys happen to give a lot of experience, which is nice. I should still get big tossed by this guy, but just in case, I think, yeah, this is fine. So I'm gonna set this up again. Again, this is one of the most complicated tricks. You need like a spreadsheet to understand all of the frames of possible animation to know exactly what to do. And I do not have that with me. So I have it all memorized, kind of. Dang, it's fine. We set up again. I do need to heal. If we can get past this, it should be smooth sailing until the next trick that can end this run. So, you know. There we go, first frame. Dang. These map buffers are incredibly difficult as well because there is no, the game runs at 60 FPS, so every time I'm opening the map, I have to close the map within 1 frame and then reopen the map within 1 frame if I want to advance the game state by exactly 1 frame. So even the map buffers have to be difficult. That's second frame, that's fine. That's first frame. There we go, okay. So here I'm gonna fall through the floor again. I'm gonna transform into wolf on the way down. This is gonna put me in the boss room, but I can leave on the other side, and that gets me to the form of mist. Whew.
I feel like it's also worth mentioning that the button you're using to open the map is a trigger.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a button.
Yes.
So this is a frame-perfect press-unpress of an analog object.
The trigger activates around 70%. Press down, not like 100%, not like any pressure, it's 70%. So you need to know how to frame perfectly hit 70% of the actuation of this trigger. So,
Kind of time it works every time.
That's what they've said. You know what I know? This is a thing I know. This is nuts.
This room is scary, hold on.
Perfect number of bats, sorry.
Please hit me. Yes, I want to get hit there the right way, not the wrong way. Okay, we're fine. If you get shot, you die.
Yep.
You know, turns out gun beats vampire.
Yeah, those bone muskets will one-shot you, so DB tried to deboost, get some invisibility frames, get right through and get the shield rod.
Everything is working out great, because this shield rod is very powerful. We're activating the shield rod spell right here. That's the whole reason we went into that room, because the shield rod, when it's applied to the a la carte shield, that starting shield that we basically smuggled through Death's room, is incredibly powerful. If it touches an enemy, it does 255 damage every 6 frames. That's a lot of damage, by the way. I'm supposed to be doing like, I don't know, 10 damage for a punch or something like that.
That seems better.
It's very good. And also invincible when I'm hitting stuff with it. That's why I'm flashing white like that. So as long as I'm flashing white, I am invincible. Again, this is a reverse boss order run. I want to make that 100% clear. Reverse boss order. We are doing the bosses in the reverse intended order. This is Lesser Demon. He's, you know, sometimes a boss, but in this category, he is not. Yeah, I'm going to explain that in just a second here, because the way that we define reverse boss order in this game is silly, because there's no official boss order. This game is incredibly open. You can tackle it in various different ways, especially once you get to the second castle. You can do all sorts of stuff. So for us to find an order that is considered the official order by the game, we were looking in the game's menus. Which menus have a static order every single time? One of those menus, the one that we chose to use, the only menu that has a static order, is this menu right here, the tactics menu. And you will notice there is no Lesser Demon on that menu.
I don't see him.
He's not a boss.
He's not
as far as
there.
we're concerned, he doesn't exist.
I saw Dracula and that's it.
Just a guy.
He's just a guy, yeah. Dracula is a boss, and we saw him at the prologue. But Lesser Demon, I don't know that guy.
It says lesser. I mean, it's in the name.
Exactly.
Now if we see demon.
If there were a major demon.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, he would show up as a boss for sure. He actually gets demoted to regular enemy in the second castle anyways.
Bro,
so,
you
like,
hate to see that.
Yeah.
Dude, when an enemy in an RPG goes from like boss to 1 chapter later enemy, I mean, that's gotta suck.
He just didn't
And
do
now
his
there's, like,
job to
12 of
stop
them.
me, you know?
Yeah, and there's 12 of them per, and he's like, I'm not even special anymore.
So, the thing you're seeing me do in bat form, by the way, since we have the Soul of Bat, is called Wing Smashing. It is a very powerful spell. You're fully invincible. You're charging through the air very quickly, but it does come at a cost. The input to activate it is a very complicated input. It is hold jump, do 3/4 of a circle, motion on the control stick, and then release the jump button. Please don't hit me. And it requires 8 MP. And since we started in luck mode, our MP bar is very low. We don't have a lot of magic to work with. If you look in the top left-hand corner, I'm refilling it with mana prisms. However, every activation of the Wing Smash input chunks my MP bar down. And not only that, if you want to continue in the fast Wing Smashing speed flying around like this, you have to re-up that 3/4 circle motion on the control stick every 63 frames or less, or else you get forcibly dropped out of that input. And in this category in particular, if you're forcibly ejected from an invincible tackle right onto an enemy's face, you can just die. Because we don't have enough health or defense to defend against that. That was Gravity Boots, by the way. It's a very powerful relic that allows us to do very big jumps, and we're going to be using it in just a second here. But the tricks don't stop there, because we're immediately going to be using the Wolf for a floor clip to get out of bounds into an area we're not supposed to be in yet. This is, again, you know, if you see me open the map, it's frame perfect, it's pixel perfect, I promise you. But yeah, getting through the floor there is incredibly difficult. The map does help, but now we're in the floor, flying to the left, wing smashing from out of bounds, refilling our MP, sliding down. The game constantly pushes you down when you're out of bounds to try and push you back inbounds. We touch a load zone from out of bounds that gets us to this elevator, puts us all the way down here, and this is the area where normally this is like near the end of the first half of the game, where you get the holy glasses to go save Richter and then go to the second castle. And that requires a whole quest of like killing some bosses, finding extra armor, doing all sorts of stuff that takes like a casual player like hours, legitimately. And we just skipped all of that. And also we would be locked down here because we didn't open the floor normally. However, the gravity jump clips us through that floor there exactly once. If you have loaded that floor in at all, it doesn't allow you to clip through. So because that was the first time that floor had been loaded since activating the elevator, we were allowed to clip through specifically with the gravity boots.
Bro, you could be making all this up.
This is 100% real. Also, we're doing that clip again. And I got a first try again. Dude, I'm kind of gaming though. And this gets us into the underground caverns. That one isn't required for the run, but it does save like 40 seconds. So might as well do it, you know? It's just frame perfect, pixel perfect, whatever, it's fine. The reason we're down here, by the way, is because, like we did earlier, we grabbed a warp in the Olrox's quarters, and this area has a warp for us, and one of the reasons why we're going out of our way for these warps is because this is a reverse boss order, and that order is incredibly arbitrary. As you already saw, one of the bosses doesn't even count, so it's an incredibly arbitrary way to get through the game. So in order to minimize the amount of backtracking, there's going to be backtracking, but the way to minimize the amount that we're going to be doing is we're going to collect as many warps as we can in the most convenient spots that we can, and then using those warps to transition between, you know, certain areas, certain bosses as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, we are playing on the Xbox version of the game, which is incredibly fast for load times. There's no slowdown, no lag. Probably the best version of the game to play casually, in my opinion. Konami, could we get a re-release of this version, please? But the only downside is we do not have access to a player 2. The game Xbox does not register player 2s. It uses a profile system, so we can't use the debug code to blow up the bridge. We have to blow it up manually with the Donkey Kong skeleton. So that loses us like maybe 20 seconds over PlayStation, but the rest of the run is so much faster. Another skip, this is Cerberus, a boss. We don't want to fight him, so we're going to use this door to push us through the floor. Again, incredibly precise. I'm so happy I hit that because I was messing that up a lot in practice. So we're just kind of scooting along the floor here. If we were to transform right now, we would get clipped back inbounds, but we're going to transform over in this corner, which lets us leave the boss room, not having to fight him yet. His time will come. His time will come. It comes for us all, including Cerberus. And the whole reason we come down here is because there is a warp here. We collect that warp. We actually use it. This is part of the reroute that I was talking about that saves 30 seconds. I'm actually using the warp instead of collecting it and then library carding away to actually save a little bit of time in a backtracking section. I literally routed that out like, I don't know, 2 days before I went on my flight to come here, and I'm so happy that it's actually being shown off for the first time in a run like this. So this is a never before seen route as well on top of that, yeah.
Dragon Blitz,
what's up?
You're so cool.
Thanks, Adef. You're so cool.
Kind of goated with it.
I was asking for BDef to be on the couch, but I'm happy you're here.
No, he's not.
We don't talk about
He's not answering my phone right now, or my calls. You know.
Yeah, he's big time Hollywood.
He's huge, dude. I don't know what to do.
So we're here in the clock tower. This area can be a little scary. If these harpies hit me, I get big tossed. It doesn't kill me necessarily, but being big tossed in a room like this, you can get comboed out of it. Ooh! I wasn't meant to do that. Anyways, that level up is also weird, but
that
we're
was you.
fine.
That was the noise you just made.
Anyways, we're here at Colosseum, another boss fight, and you might be thinking to yourself, okay, is this a boss? Is he not a boss? What's going on here? No, he's a boss. We're going to come back to him later. But he's actually a homie. He's going to help us out because we're not supposed to be here yet, but on the other side of him is the end of the first castle, so he's going to help us get through the back door here. Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
That looked remarkably easy, question mark?
It was, actually.
Okay.
That clip is called a half-blood tech. I don't know why. I think it was named by a Japanese runner in like 2007 or something like that. I actually don't know the lore behind that.
It
but
sounds cool.
It's a cool name.
Cool. Sometimes people just be naming trick names a cool thing just to do it.
Yeah, essentially, if you get big tossed while you're in bat form in a corner of a room, it just clips you through the floor. We got the leap stone finally. We can now double jump. We can dive kick on our own, which is really useful for movement. And we're immediately transitioning into another pixel perfect, frame perfect. Well, it's not pixel perfect, but it is frame perfect trick here. But there is no map buffer setup. So I just have to land a frame perfect trick right there. And then I have to not soft lock. Okay, we're good. Whew. That's Richter skip. There's many ways for that to go very, very wrong, and there's many ways to skip him, but essentially the fastest way is to jump into that room with a very particular wolf jump, such that the room detector that essentially is like, hey, is Alucard in this room? If yes, load the Richter boss fight. We just skip past that detector with a very precise jump, as I said, and then Richter never loads in and we can go straight to the second castle here. Let me be careful. Yep, these guys can kill me, so I'm just waiting for my MP. If I don't wing smash through them, things can get very complicated very quickly. There we go. Yeah, now that we're in the second castle, this game is known for its wild, what's the word I'm thinking of? Difficulty curve. Like the difficulty spike in the second castle is wild. So everything will essentially one-shot us unless we are very well set up for it and like have max HP. Medusa, similar to Karasamon, is also a homie. Similar to the hitbox shenanigans we did before. Thankfully, Medusa has one of the thickest hitboxes around. We're just gonna let her push us out of bounds. And there we go.
That's a hitbox.
Oh yeah. You'll love to see it. Let me go ahead and get the mana prism back on here. Yep. The invincibility from potions is incredibly clutch because if I landed on that balloon pod without invincibility, I would die. I would explode into blood. It would not be fun. And from here, we're essentially beelining it, now that we're in the second castle, to the first boss of the run. How long have we been playing? 25 minutes? Yeah, that sounds about time for the first boss, right?
Yeah.
But before we get there, there is a heart refresh item down here. We had to exhaust our one heart refresh from the start in order to slide into the floor and get that library card from earlier. So this is just a convenient heart refresh to pick up now. There's only I think 4 in the game or something like that. It's an incredibly rare item, but the fact that you start with one is so lucky for us. Otherwise, this run would not be possible.
Can it be duplicated?
Yes, in fact, it can. That's one of the reasons why we lost it before is because we didn't have the duplicator. But now that we have the duplicator, we can use that heart refresh as many times as we want. And that is an item that causes a screen freeze similar to a level up. So any screen freeze can cause those reverse shift line glitches, so long as you set them up properly. So for us, it's very convenient. Please don't touch me. Sorry, it's very stressful when you're expecting a wing smash to come out and it doesn't, and then you're just in Alucard form please don't touch me, because I will die. But from here, there's one instance of an enemy that I'm kind of scared of, but after that, I think our chances of dying are a lot lower because now our health can be whatever value we want. We don't have to big toss anymore for the rest of the run. So my shield rod is active, right?
Yeah.
It is. Okay,
get
good.
The Guardians?
Yeah, we have to kill the Guardians here, but they kill me in one hit. But if I can get the shield rod inside of their hitbox before they touch me, it's fine. The reason we kill them is because they give a ton of experience. I just went from level 8 to level 22. So now I'm gonna be set on a lot of things. This is another reverse shift line. I'm walking forward, using a screen freeze, backdashing out of it. And if I do everything correctly here, there shouldn't be a screen freeze, but there might be, so brace yourselves. Okay, we're gonna have a slight flash, and that's it. Okay, good. If I mess that up big time, you could see a screen flash for 35 seconds. It's not fun. I'm so glad that didn't happen. We should have no screen flashes for the rest of the run, thankfully. There's no reason for it to ever happen. From here, this is finally the first boss fight. We did it!
Yay!
Wait a minute, we're a bit deep into the game, I think. First guy?
Yeah, his name is Shaft. He is a boss fight that is connected with the Dracula fight. So once we kill him, it will immediately warp us to the Dracula fight. There he is, he's dead now. But we're not ready to fight Dracula yet. He's the very final boss of this run, so we can get to the end credits and finish the game with the reverse boss order as much as we possibly can. So we have to find a way to leave this boss room. It's gonna load in the whole cinematic, et cetera, et cetera. There is a way to do it where you do that half-blood tech in the corner. It's very slow to do it. Not very slow. I think a task can make it faster, but you can easily crash the game doing so. So I'm doing an alternate strat where I just use the library card.
I was just about to say, why not just use the library card?
You're so smart, Adef, and cool and handsome.
I'm blushing.
There are some implications of library carding out of there. We now have to do the Richter skip again.
Yes, that is true. Yes, Richter is still waiting for us, but it's not his time.
Dude, I hate
We're not ready
implications,
for 'em.
bro. That is the worst.
One of the other implications, funny enough, is we've killed Shaft, but he didn't disappear. He's still there, but we're not allowed to kill him again because it ruins the boss order.
Right,
So we have to
you're
skip
reversing.
past him the next time, which is going to be a very fun time for, I think, many people watching. So from here, we're kind of just doing some backtracking. So this is yet another fantastic time for some donations before we get to the next boss.
Let's go, Xanadir.
Alrighty, here's $100 from Quest that said, my fiance introduced me to Kingdom Hearts as one of his favorite childhood game series. Has become nostalgic for me as well, and I can't wait to see it run. Let's get that critical mode incentive. And thank you for that. I would like to update you all that we are at $41,269 of the $100,000 needed. That means we need 58,000 more, and there's less than an hour before we get there. What just happened?
Sorry, I just did
good.
the most ridiculous version of Richter skip with no setup, and it just worked
Hey,
out.
you nailed it.
Hey,
You're
yeah,
nice
claps
with
for
it.
that.
The reason it saves like a second because you don't have to break the brick, and that brick makes the hitbox like easier to skip past. And I said, you know what? I'll just go for breakless. If we hit it, great. If not, and I happen to hit it, so that makes me feel really good inside.
That 1 second is going to put us 1 second underestimate.
Let's go.
Crucial.
Alrighty, mind if I take it back over
Of
for a few
course,
moments?
keep going. I'll let you know.
Alrighty, sorry. So we're at 41,000 of the 100,000 needed for that Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix upgrade to level 1 critical mode. That means we need about $58,000 more, and we have under an hour to do it. This run is already at the 30-minute mark, and there's maybe a 15-minute recap after that. The time is now. We need your help. And when we finish that incentive, it's going to put us at like a healthy 980,000.
Yeah, I was about to say.
$1 million.
We're kind of getting a little close to that milli.
You know, I think we
getting
could
there.
probably get it. I mean, if we really come together,
can
we
we
could
get
do
a
it by the
million?
end of this
We
run.
get $1 million.
I don't know, audience. You think we can get towards $1 million in this run? Twitch chat, I'm going to need some energy from you too. We absolutely can. Just remember, when you are putting in your donation, you have to go to the bottom and specifically select that incentive. If you do not, it just goes to the bank, which is great. We want those donations. We also want to see more GDQ. We want to see more epic speedruns and challenges. So please assign your donations to, especially the upgrade to level 1 critical mode. We would really appreciate it.
So now we're here in the reverse caverns. We're making our way towards the reverse mines. This is where the boss fight with Death is, that guy that we skipped at the very beginning of the run. It's not his time yet, so we're going to have to do Death Skip again, what I like to call Death Skip 2.
If Death Skip's so good,
Might as well do it again.
Why isn't there a Death Skip too?
Yeah, that's why we invented a Death Skip 2 for this category. Exactly. This area is very scary. If I drop a wing smash, I die. And like I said, it's a very complicated input. I'm constantly doing 3/4 circle motions on the D-pad while also trying to control my height in specific ways. I cannot stress how, that is the hard part of most Symphony of the Night speedruns, is the wing smash control. So this trick is gonna be kind of difficult to explain. It's called a screen grab. So I'm getting him to second phase so he's out of my face. I do not want him anywhere near me. I'm going to use 2 heart refreshes. If 1 heart refresh is broken, 2 is probably also broken. That's not the right setup. I don't have a lot of time to set this up, so I'm a little nervous. That should work. Okay. So now from here, I'm going to buffer each heart refresh input back to back. Now that I have 2, I can put 1 on each hand, alternate hands, and out of the heart refresh input, you can buffer another input. So I'm constantly spamming these heart refresh inputs over and over and over again. And you'll notice that Alucard is shifting to the left every single time a heart refresh animation plays, but the camera is locked in place. This desyncs the camera and Alucard's position such that after a while, when I let go and let the game return to normal speed, the camera is going to snap to Alucard's position, but he's really far to the left, and the collision of the game doesn't quite keep up, and he'll fall through the floor in within 1 frame essentially, and it lets us go out of bounds. And yeah, this is a trick that requires a ton of heart refresh animations. This one's 25, I think, for this room. So you don't want to do it because it takes a long time unless you absolutely have to. There is one other way to skip death, but it's actually a minute slower because it requires a library card and then backtracking through the entirety of the first castle again and the second castle up to this point. So for the rest of this trick, this would be a great time for donations.
Alrighty, then I have a $250 donation here from, is it Bejamus? Bejamus? Well, they said, let's go, DB, one of my favorite streamers playing one of my favorite games, showing smooth movement and amazing tricks on the GDQ main stage for such a wonderful cause. Thank you for the $250. We also had $10 here from Dracula's Castle HR director.
Oh, no. I hate this guy.
Yeah, they said the lesser demon was tired of being disrespected and has put in his 2 weeks notice. Looks like we need a new HR director.
I mean, like, look, it's expected. It's disappointing, but it's expected.
Hey, don't try to be lesser. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an even more lesser demon that we're just going to bump up. So, you know, his loss.
You got a million.
All right. We're coming up on the end of this trick here, so take note of Alucard's position here. I'm going to do an extra hard refresh just to be safe, because if we fail this trick, it's like a 3-minute time loss, so this should work. And slip on through. And there we go.
Nice.
That is one of the tricks that I'm most nervous about. It should be free if I have the correct setup, but if you are ever so slightly wrong on your starting position, it changes the number of heart refreshes you have to do and your positioning. So you kind of just have to wing it and hope that it works out. It's very consistent, but the 98% chance for it to go right means that there's, you know, a 100% chance for it to go wrong sometimes.
That math checks out.
But now, that's like the last major skip of the run, and we get to enter phase 2 of this run, which is kind of the reverse boss rush. Right now, we're gonna go from boss to boss and kind of just show them what's up. Tell them that, you know, we're tired of them existing, I guess? I'm not quite sure what the lore is here.
Wait, that room was sick.
Yeah, it's got skeletons.
Just all my boys hanging out.
So we're coming up on the hardest, most difficult, most crazy, most wild boss in the entire game, Galamoth. He is the super secret mega boss with more health than even the final boss, Dracula himself, 12,000 HP. And I'm honestly a little bit nervous if there was a way to, oh yeah, shield rod. Where are you going? He's not supposed to go that way. Anyways, yeah, shield rod OP. We're invincible. We're doing max cap damage.
Boss down.
Without shield rod, that guy is such a jerk. There is an AI like manip you can do to like lock him in place, but that boss fight, legitimately, with the equipment I have, would take like 6 minutes versus, you know, like 15 seconds. But now the next boss. Oh, the sound effect.
Sorry,
you like
that sound was hilarious.
You want to hear an even better one?
I would, please, yes.
I got you.
I know what it is.
Hold on, let me set it up. It's a good room.
It's like when a skeleton's playing their ribcage like a xylophone.
Yeah, this game is full of all sorts of wonderful sound design, music, sprite work. It's literally a masterpiece of art. I love it to death. It's my favorite video game of all time. I'm so happy to showcase it here for all of you lovely folks. Yes. And thank you all for donating to a fantastic cause. Like, GDQ is the reason I started speedrunning, and the fact that it's still kicking many, many, many years later. I've been speedrunning this game a long time, almost 11 years, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Heck yeah.
Next boss coming up is Beelzebub. You might think, no, don't you mean Beelzebub? No, it's Beelzebub. It's a typo inside the game, you know, when you look him up in the bestiary. He is a giant, hanging, decrepit body who summons flies. Yep. He's really everybody's like nightmare fuel if you played this game like as a young adult or child or even an adult, full-grown adult. You might still be scared. So, you know, if
I'm scared.
You have Adolf there to hold you in case you are
Thank you for being
scared.
honest with us.
Yeah.
I have something that might cheer you up. Can I do my impression of Dragon Blitz?
Yes.
Please don't touch me.
I got that from you, bro. I'm literally copying you.
Holy cow, I just thought there were two of you.
The speed noises per minute density that has been on display in this run is incredible.
Oh no. This is normally the laggiest room in the game if we were playing on PlayStation. One of the reasons why playing on PlayStation can be a little bit sketchy in some places. By the way, if you do want to play on PlayStation, the route is exactly the same between Xbox and PlayStation, which is really nice. There's a handful of like minor differences. The Xbox version just loads faster and has less lag, so which is one of the nice things. Another cool boss kill coming up here. What I'm doing here is I'm dive kicking off of the enemy in midair to keep the shield inside of him as long as possible. Otherwise, we would have like 1 or 2 ticks where the shield wouldn't kill him in time, and we would have to like get back up there again, and then he'd have a chance to actually like fight back. So that's basically the long and short of how the boss fights are going to go in this run. Is we just want to get inside of them with the shield inside their face as quickly as possible and keep the shield inside of them until they die. There's various different like ways to do that and like optimizations we can do. Like this next boss fight coming up here, this is the Castlevania 3 trio. If you've ever played Castlevania 3, it's all of your friends, but they're evil this time? What? The way that we're going to do this boss fight is we're actually going to sweep from left to right, essentially knocking the enemies into each other to just basically like walk through the room like this. So we start with this guy, walk to the left, he gets knocked back, then we sweep up to the top over there, and they are donezo.
The whole canon of the Castlevania anime just shuddered as you.
Well, Grant wasn't even in it, so.
Yeah, you know, maybe in the Japanese version of the anime he's in it.
Well, then Trevor be named Ralph.
Shout out to Ralph Belmont, my favorite Belmont.
Belmondo.
Yes.
Yeah, let's hear it for Ralph.
Yeah, let's get a round of applause, please.
Thank you. Ralph appreciates it. I'll let him know. Next boss fight is going to be Doppelganger 40. The 40, fun fact, denotes his level. Each enemy in this game does have a specific level, and it is a mechanic that does matter. It determines how much experience you gain from the boss. It's like Alucard, your character level minus their level, and then some other math going on in the background determines how much experience you gain. So essentially, the higher level you are, the less experience you gain, so the level scaling kind of like balances out. It's one of the reasons why we're not getting level ups all the time and primarily only on bosses nowadays. You know, the inflation on experience has gone crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It's honestly the economy.
The Fed is just not doing enough to cap inflation on experience curves.
I've been saying this. Thank you. Another fun fact about Doppelganger 40 is he is soul linked with the other version of Doppelganger back in the first castle. We had to skip him by using the library card. But we're going to skip him again, and to explain why that is, I can't. That's the fun part. I don't know why this is a thing. We're just going to be invincible, get in his face, use the stopwatch to freeze him in place, then kill him. And I'm going to look at the system menu here, time attack. You'll notice Doppelganger 10 and Doppelganger 40 were defeated on the same frame. Yeah. They are soul linked. So essentially, he's gone. There is no Doppelganger 10. Again, we tried our best to make this reverse boss order work, but that's another one of those edge cases where you cannot kill Doppelganger 40 before killing Doppelganger 10, or else Doppelganger 10 never spawns. I'll even showcase the boss room later, because this run has actually been kind of killing it. We're probably way ahead of schedule, and it's like a 20-second detour, but I'll show you, he does not spawn at all.
Wait, we're way ahead of estimate. Zen, can I get an update on that Kingdom Hearts incentive? Because we're running out of time here.
Yeah, we definitely are. We are at 43,355 of the 100,000 needed. That is 56,000 remaining. I actually have a message here from the runner, Ninten866, just to tell you how amazing the upgrade to level 1 critical mode incentive is. They said that the level 1 makes the game extremely high stakes and intense on every fight. Just beating the game at level 1 at all is a huge task that not many people can do. So we're basically doing a challenge run while speedrunning. Every fight will be difficult to get through. Edge of your seat speedrun, quote unquote. You definitely want to see it. Make sure you put your donations in now and select that incentive at the bottom of the page. We need your help now.
I mean, I want to see that.
I'm sold.
I want to see that too.
I'm sold.
We got any KH fans in the audience tonight? Love me some Kingdom Hearts. Let's go. Yeah, get that incentive met, people. I want to see it.
All right, so where are we heading now? We just killed Death, kind of.
Yeah, Death, it was finally his time.
Yeah.
Death comes for us all, including Death.
Yeah, who takes him to the great beyond?
Me.
Oh, let's go.
So now we're heading towards Creature. So now we've kind of hit the Castlevania 1 retrains, if you will, you know. Got to rehash the old stuff so that way the boomers can look at the screen and go, oh my gosh, I remember that. It's the reason why
It's Flea Man!
Is that Dragon Blitz?
That's me.
that's Dragon Blitz, dude. He's the boomer.
So they retrained a lot of the old Castlevania 1 bosses. This is Creature minus the Flea Man that accompanies him. He's dead now. His scream kind of sounds like Hank Hill going, whoa! If you've ever, just me? All right, I'm crazy, I guess. You play the same game over and over again, you start to like hear things in the static of the game. You know what I'm saying? Anybody?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I don't know that Hank Hill's scream is like his most defining feature.
Last time I fought Creature, I was like, wow, this guy looks like he loves propane and propane accessories.
Now, don't tell you what, you better be donating to that upgrade to level 1 critical mode incentive. We really could use that help right now.
That was
really good.
Okay, I'm so glad Zen did that because I was going to do mine and it is 100 times worse.
Okay,
so
how much to donate to hear yours?
$100. We'll give it a shot.
$100 donation. We can hear AF's Hank Hill. I want to hear this now.
No, you know what? Instead,
okay,
where are we at on the KH2 incentive?
All right, currently we still need $55,000 we still need is the main point here.
All right, let's get to 60K. and I'll do it.
60K for Adef's horrible hand kill impression. Let's go.
Alrighty, we need 60K total there. That's about 16,000 more. I mean, Twitch chat audience, I know we can make it happen, but are you going to put your energy into it? Can I trust you? We can do this, right? Give me some energy, audience. Let's go.
Really bad.
I'm excited for that.
If it's bad enough, can we get BDF up here?
Yeah, he just is not. I'm sorry, I could check my phone, but he's just not.
We got a budget.
Yeah, I don't know. He's soaring, dude.
Yeah, honestly, the price for his appearance fee is kind of wild.
I asked him, but you know, some people are just, they make it and then they forget about you.
Speaking of people who have made it, we got Aquadon here, all the way from Castlevania 1, making it into...
He's made it.
Bro, he has made it.
made it.
He got the call for this game and was so excited to show up.
He's dead now.
It's,
But his animation, his death animation is like, they definitely spent like a week on it. His Thanos snap out of existence, beautiful.
not feeling so good, Mr. Stark.
No.
Big Avengers fan.
Oh,
That was personally painful.
yeah.
From here, we are winding down the second castle, which means we have one castle after this left full of bosses, and then the final boss, Dracula. So we keep blazing through these bosses right now.
How many bosses we got left, DB?
Don't ask me that question.
Count them now.
What do we got? Giant cat left, right?
I just look at my splits and do what the splits tell me to do.
Bro is a slave to his live split layout.
How do I speedrun without splits?
So we do have Darkwing Bat coming up next here. After that, there's all of the first castle bosses. You know them. You tell me, Adef. You're a big fan of this game.
Huge fan. Presumably there is Medusa.
That we
No,
already
we
did
killed
Medusa.
her.
That was earlier.
Well, I just like her so much.
I mean, we all do.
Oh, you know who there is? There's like a guy with an axe who's like a minotaur or something.
yeah.
There's also a skeleton. Or there's like a group of skeletons.
You're thinking of Dark Souls 2.
That's right. I often I confuse the two all the
They're
time.
very similar.
Yeah. This
Similar
is so true.
lore, similar art style vibe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Majula, Castle, unclear which
What
is
is
which.
what is your favorite skeleton lord?
My favorite skeleton lord? That'd be me.
Okay, now we're finally heading back to the first castle. All of the bosses in the second castle have been defeated. Going back to the first castle, what is the next boss? I'm
Thinking Colosseum?
no, it's not Crossamon. I feel like we're forgetting
Yeah.
somebody important here. Who could it be? Oh, you know what it is?
gotta be
Richter.
Richter.
Yeah,
Oh.
Richter, yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't spawn in from the left for whatever reason. That's the
He
whole
goes
joke.
Super Saiyan at the beginning. Good
Yeah.
Lord. I assume he's just going to get shielded to death or something.
No, actually, he is controlled by the Dark Priest Shaft, that guy that we killed earlier. He sent like his phantom form to go control...
B-Shaft.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that shaft encounter is essentially just an orb with 10 HP. So we just do 10 HP, 10 ticks of damage to him.
By the way,
And
shield rod.
thank you for reminding me. I will do that. Yeah, we do 10 ticks of damage.
It's a good thing you're here.
10 ticks of damage to it, and then it dissipates, and that's it. Because if we actually killed him as the boss fight that is intended, we get the bad ending, and we still have more bosses, so we can't get the bad ending. So our compromise is that we save Richter, and that's considered the boss fight. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is one of the few categories that actually saves Richter because he isn't considered a boss because this game uses the time attack menu that I showed you earlier as like the de facto way to determine a major event in this game, like killing a boss. But saving Richter doesn't say defeat Richter. It says save Richter, where all the other bosses say defeat blank boss. So because of that, Richter usually doesn't make the cut, but because we're trying to abide by the boss order as cleanly as we can to make a entertaining run that's fun to play and also fun to showcase, Richter makes the cut, which is,
That's kind of cool.
that's a big day for him.
Huge.
Richter stocks going up, everybody. Okay, this is shield rod time. So because that cutscene with saving Richter happened, it deactivated my shield rod. It essentially reloads Alucard in, which disables the shield rod.
In my defense, is this not a ton of skeletons?
It's technically bodies.
Look at the background right now.
I mean, all right.
Those are the skeletons, but the boss itself is bodies. You don't get to see the boss for very long, so I don't... Actually, his name is Granfaloon.
I was talking about you. Talking about you.
So there's Grand Falloon down. Next boss coming up is going to be Alrox, the other vampire lord of the castle. I don't know what he's doing here. I think honestly he's kind of just squatting. He found a castle and he said, you know what, I'll move in.
We'll see what happens in season 2. See how
Squatters. Yeah, they're going to finally address the squatter rights in
Yeah.
Transylvania. I've been looking forward to this. Is this canonically in Transylvania?
Good question.
Or is this just an ambiguous Eastern European country?
No, I think it is in Transylvania.
Okay.
In this game. Other games, it's up in the air.
Really, Castlevania is kind of more of a vibe.
It really is. Gotta get out of this.
Should I do a
There
funny
we go.
voice? Like,
Yeah, you should do a funny voice.
Go for it.
Oh,
I like that one. Let's go, dude. Okay. So
I wake up every day and say, should I do a funny voice?
I had to double check my notes I have the route like 95% memorized. Again, like I said, I rerouted a lot of it. And on top of that, the boss order is so arbitrary. Like, no speedrun in its right mind would go all the way down to the catacombs and then say, you know where I want to go next? Allrox's quarters.
It's
Like
gotta
the
be
exact
Allrox.
opposite side of the castle. So there's a lot of like zigzagging around to get from boss to boss as determined by that boss order. But it does make for some fun rooms to move through. It's another reason, I love this game because this game has such fluid movement for a 2D game. It's incredible. It has momentum preservation out of like any horizontal movement. You have the wing smashes, which is like a huge skill ceiling, like optimization for top level runners. You even have out the gate, like shield dashing, something to do in between before getting all of the overpowered movement. Like it's incredibly fun to play through. Even if you just want to like casually play through the game, but utilize the movement options to their fullest, it's so much fun. Genuinely recommend it. Next up, we got Succubus, which is all the way in the catacombs, which is this direction.
On the way there, you think I got a few moments for donations?
Sure thing.
Fantastic. Here's $5 from Heatblaze that said $5 train to the KH2 upgrade. And along the same thoughts, $5 from Bert FTW that said $5 train to 1 million. $50 here from Yoki Mato that said, I missed the last few $5 trains, so here's 10 trains worth. And $10 from Lima that said, choo-choo. We can definitely make it happen. We are currently at 48,000 of the 100,000 needed. That means we still need 51K. And let me tell you, if we get to 60,000 of that raised, we're going to get the greatest Hank Hill impression you have ever heard. Right, Adolf?
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of a fib. I lied. It wasn't actually Succubus. It was Cerberus.
They kind of sound the same.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
There's the dog. We pet the dog. He loves us so much he bursts into flames out of excitement.
Let's hear it for dogs.
Let's hear it for dogs, everybody. Shout out to Peanut Butter.
Loves us so much he bursts into flames.
Don't you do that?
That's some biblical garbage.
If I loved fire,
There's a lot of biblical stuff in this game, so I think it's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like crosses and like holy stuff or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Junk. Now it's Succubus time.
All
Everyone's
right.
favorite boss.
Another biblical thing. Now it's Succubus time.
now it's Succubus.
I remember that. It's my favorite Bible quote.
Hold on.
Oh, it's Succubus time.
Funny thing about this game in Bible quotes, actually.
Oh yeah, this is
The
actually a
end
good
credits,
story. This is a
yeah.
good story.
So in the end credits, in the English version of the game, Dracula quotes Matthew 16:26 at the very end. And for the longest time, the any % run was hovering around like 17 minutes, a little into the like 1650s. And I kind of took it upon myself to find a lot of time saves to get it down to around that 16:26 mark. I never thought I'd actually hit it. And then after a while, we eventually did get a run that was exactly 16:26.
Oh, wow.
So for a while, the world record was 16:26, and at the end of the run, Dracula even calls out the timer, 16:26. That was Succubus, by the way. You know, we library card out to skip the animation of us loading back into the regular castle because we're in the Nightmare Zone. You know a little thing about the Nightmare Zone, right, Ada?
I have had a nightmare every night in this hotel since we got here.
Well, I'm sorry to hear
I haven't
that.
had a hotel. Good lord, I haven't had a nightmare in like 2 years, and yet I'm like 6 for 6 this week. I'm hoping for 7 for 7 tonight.
Are you feeling all right, man?
I feel fine. I've had a great week. They're honestly getting exciting. Are they scary? Yes, but every single one has had some kind of thing for me to defeat at the end. So I wake up feeling resolute and excited.
I think I know what your nightmare is going to be tonight. It's going to be something about a little bit of propane.
I can't wait to hear the you know, save children from a burning building that's exploding with propane and Hank Hill is there. And you have to do your Hank Hill impression to save the children.
And I might, that's going to be a tough decision. That's going to be a tough decision to make.
Whoa.
To save children?
I'll save the kids.
All right, let's hear it for saving the kid.
Let's hear it for saving the kids. Let's get some donations for MSF.
Happy to read a few out if we have a moment.
Go right ahead. We're just killing some bosses, vibing with some friends.
Yeah, you know, as one does. We got a $50 donation here from our great friend Anonymous that said, a bad Hank Hill impression and an impossible Kingdom Hearts run for the price of one donation. So much value. Also had a $25 donation from Wizza here that said, always wanting to see runners in pain. Level 1 KH, go! Also, Adolf talking about propane needs to happen. Right now, we're at 50,000 out of the 100,000. 10,000 more and we hear an incredible impression.
We're close to
We're
it,
getting
Sean.
Make it happen.
We're close. Man, I'm low-key, stressed because what if it's actually good and that's disappointing? Or what if it's so bad that it's disappointing?
You're in your head. You're in your head. It'll be great.
All right, I got to do some kind of
warming
acting
up.
exercise. Get out of my
Do you
get out
want
of
to
my head.
hear a fun fact?
Yeah, I would love to hear a fun
If
fact.
you transform into Bat in this room before the cutscene starts, you soft lock the game.
You should do it.
I can't anymore.
late.
Oh.
We considered joking by soft locking the game and then loading a
There he
save.
is.
Save,
That's
but
a
it's
boss.
not- oh, that's a boss. Yeah,
That's a boss I mentioned.
Half of it. You mentioned
were like-
Minotaur,
you
but
were-
you forgot his friend.
I knew there
Werewolf.
was two guys.
You didn't even mention Minotaur. You mentioned Minotaur-like guy.
Well, is
It's
he not?
literally a
Would you
Minotaur.
say Dragon Blitz is not a human-like guy?
Not frequently, no. I don't think I would say that.
But is it incorrect?
Like, yeah, if I had to testify that, I think that sounds accurate.
Your Honor, my client is a human-like guy. Watch yourself, counselor.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? What's next? We got Scylla. Oh, Scylla. We all love Scylla, right, guys?
Yeah, the Wiggly Water Lady.
Wiggly Water Lady. Remember that floor clip that I did a while ago to get into the caverns?
Of course.
It's a little fuzzy, actually. Can you
Yeah.
show it to me again?
Oh, sure. Since we're here, might as well. No way I went 3
That's
for
the
3
one.
on that.
That's the one.
That is wild. Those
I
floor
love this
clips are wild.
This
Like,
song is so sick.
I can't even begin to explain how difficult those are. The map buffering helps, but again, you're still having to do frame perfect inputs for the map buffering. So lots of fun time here. So this is Scylla Worm, not Scylla yet.
Can I give you a fun fact, DB?
Sure.
This is actually a fun fact for everybody. Twitch.tv/DR4GONBLITZ. That's Dragon Blitz. Excellent content. And there's a YouTube channel with a huge backlog of wonderful videos to watch on Castlevania speedrunning history, all kinds of other speedruns. YouTube, just search Dragon Blitz, and Twitch, go to Dragon Blitz. I want to see some follows, some subscribes. And I'm going to say it, I'll cry if you don't do it.
He'll cry if you do it as well. So no matter what, it kind of works out.
Yeah, but that's just like my state. That's
He's just
my
prone to
default.
crying.
Yeah, that's just my default state.
Sorry, I didn't mean to out you.
No, I'm a human-like creature, so.
Yeah. True.
Aren't we all?
Any
Yes,
human-like
Your Honor.
creatures in the chat?
Yeah, human-like creatures, let's hear it. Sound off if you're a human-like creature.
We love and
Sometimes I wake
respect.
up in the morning and I feel like a monster-like creature. Am I right?
Oh, you just.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just,
okay,
but,
yeah.
Seriously.
I can't wait till I've had my coffee. Yeah.
You can't wake up 90 minutes before having your morning coffee.
Yeah, I'll die.
Next up is Hippogriff. So you might have noticed that Scylla boss fight, I literally just wing smashed into the boss and then the boss died. That boss, for whatever reason, just has very low HP. I think they were worried about how difficult the boss would be, so they scaled it down HP-wise. This boss, however, I think has no excuse for having as much HP as it does. Obviously, we are going to melt it, but from a casual perspective, this is like a Dark Souls level boss with like a Dark Souls level run back. Like there's no save room anywhere nearby. It's like probably the hardest part of the game, and it's like near the beginning, funny enough. This is where normally in a sane world that is not a wacko universe that we live in, we would go fight Doppelganger 10, but he is not with us right now. He's on vacation. He heard that his good friend Doppelganger 40 couldn't make it, so he decided to go look for him. If he asks, don't tell him anything, guys, right? We're cool? Like,
He's in the big castle in the sky.
yeah, well, that's the second castle, actually, yeah.
He's
It's
in
like
the third big castle in the sky.
Well, there is a third castle, and we
He's
can
in
get
the
there with
fourth
glitches.
big
but-
castle in the sky.
Okay, I don't think we have a fourth castle.
07's for Doppelganger 10.
07s.
So yeah, this is the final boss, by the way, everybody. Well, the first boss, but the final boss. And they're gone.
They were too strong. We had to skip Slogger and Gaibon.
Yeah, we had to go power up, do our anime training arc before we can finally face
yeah.
them.
Boss down.
And
Boss
do we
down.
skip the life max up? We did.
We did?
Nice, yeah.
Nice.
If you leave the room fast enough, there's a life max up that drops on your head. But if you're fast enough to leave with the library card, it doesn't drop on your head, and you save like 90 frames. That's a lot. Can you count to 90, chat?
No.
Start now.
Well, hey, they could if we start putting some more donations towards that upgrade
Could we
to level
please
level 1 critical mode.
start a donation train starting at 1, getting to 90 in order? Can you do it? I believe in you.
You ever played those games where you try to like count to 10, but you can't like look at each other and then... Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Is that on the PS1?
If it's on the PS1, we might have played it.
I played it.
You know, with how big the library is, I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh yeah, Doppelganger 10. Let me go show him real quick. This is like a 20-second detour, but I'm not lying. He's gone forever. He will not come
What
back.
is the game? Counting to 10?
It's like a group trust building exercise where you close your eyes in a circle and you try to count to 10 without saying any numbers at the same time. So you can't like communicate it all, and you're trying to each individually work together to count to 10 without saying a number at the same time. I've spent so much time on this.
There he is.
Just,
This is where Doppelganger 10 normally would be, but he is MIA right now. So like, he is actually just gone. It's one of the things that makes this category very silly. It's a category extension for a reason.
Every
but
speedrun is arbitrary.
of course, at the end of the day, you know.
The
but-
words any percent didn't mean anything until somebody decided they did.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, this is a very fun, very interesting category in my opinion. It gets to show off how powerful the glitches in this game are if you like sit down and really like put your nose to the grindstone and figure out all these frame perfect, pixel perfect setups. And as just a massive fan of this game and this game's community and so many of the people around the speedrunning community as a whole is the whole reason I'm here. And I'm, again, so happy to be here showcasing this run for you guys. Hey, we don't have to skip Richter anymore.
Yay!
Yeah, no more Richter skip. Let's go. Coming up here is like a backtrack to the area where Shaft was, because that's where the Dracula fight is from, if you remember, like, I don't know, like 30 minutes ago. But heading up to that, there's not like a whole lot going on, so this would be another fantastic time for some donations.
Alrighty, here is a $2,000 donation from Dugan.
Let's go.
Whoa.
They said, let's see that terrible Hank Hill impression.
Oh my God.
They pushed us to 52,500 to the 100,000 needed, so we still need about 7,500, but we can absolutely make it happen before the end of this run. I personally challenge all of you to make it happen before the end of this run. We also had a $25 donation from Anonymous that said, how much does Twitch chat need to donate for Zen to read out Dracula's "What is a man" speech in the Hank Hill voice?
Oh, I'd
if
love
we reach
to
that
see
60K,
yeah, that's
I
a
will
fair
absolutely
trade.
do it.
I love that.
Fair trade. We absolutely need to reach that level 1 critical mode upgrade. It's such a great run. None of you understand, because I cannot articulate well enough how amazing that run is, but I really want to get us there. I believe we can do it before the start of that run. You'll have the time of the daily recap after that, but that's not much. We're getting there. It's running out.
Okay, this is going to be one of the last tricks of the run. It's that reverse shift line again. Nice, we got it. So again, this pushes us out of bounds by skipping an entire room, puts us in the ceiling, and then we fly across the ceiling here. 2, 3, 4, 5 wing smashes, a brief flash, and then we're there. And now, all that's standing in our way is Shaft again. But as I said earlier, we can't fight him. So if you remember that trick we did earlier to skip past death, we're going to be doing that again, that screen grab glitch where we desync the camera a lot. So this is another fantastic time for a lot of donations. This is going to be like 2 minutes.
Alrighty, then here is a $25 donation from Memph that said, Adaf doing a Hank Hill impression.
That boy ain't right.
We have a $250 donation from Quev that says, I'm excited to hear Adaf's Hank Hill impression. $50 from Wilson that said, can we get a $5 Hank Hill hype train? And I guess for Kingdom Hearts 2, donating 10 tickets
Mike
for
Judge
people who
fans,
can.
rise up, baby.
Let's go. $100 donation from Frequently Bees that said, give us the Hank Hill impression, ADEF. $100 from Mark that said, the people want to hear the bad Hank Hill impression. $50 from Cute Fuzzy that said, this should buy some
Propane and propane accessories.
can't wait to hear it, ADEF. And also a $25 donation here that from Prince of Kisses that said, question for DB, which Symphony of the Night monster is the most ADEF-like?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna guess
We're thinking Flea.
Flea Rider.
Flea Rider.
Flea Rider.
Yo,
It's a ride at
Caveman
night
was not going to say Flea Rider. I want to be clear on that. I should
No, we
never-
were on the perfect wavelength there.
I
You're
never-
kind of being weird
It
about
was definitely
this.
Flea adjacent.
I should not have sat on
You're
this
wearing
couch.
green.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
You
right?
shouldn't have
you're
sat here.
wearing like a Flea Man cosplay right now.
I never leave home without my Flea Man cosplay.
I know.
That's why you're on the couch.
Yeah.
Everybody knew you were doing the Flea Man cosplay today.
Yeah.
I think we just have a couple more heart refreshes here before we're pushed through the floor. Hopefully this works out. I was supposed to count the number of heart refreshes, but this looks about right.
You know where you are.
I have thousands of hours in this game, and it worked. Wow.
Yay!
Sometimes you do vibe-based glitches, and it works out. But this is the end of the run. Again, I want to thank GDQ. I want to thank the crowd being here. I want to thank ADEF and Caveman. I want to thank everybody who is donating to this wonderful cause. Thank you all so much for making this possible. I'm so happy to get to showcase my favorite game in front of you all. ADEF said it before, but I do make videos on YouTube, youtube.com/DragonBlitz.
They're really good, genuinely very good.
I talk about speedrunning this game, other games, all sorts of stuff. I also stream breaking records all the time in this game, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. If you want to check me out, I'd really appreciate it. And that's time.
Hey, also, we just got to 63,000.
Hey!
Of the 100,000. So what you got for us?
Okay. I got to take a deep breath and like really center myself. Bobby, I'll tell you what. And that is, I'm gonna be upset now.
That boy ain't right, I tell you what.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna sell that boy some propane.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, it's not.
It got better. You should practice it like more, like right now.
Nah.
If you are still watching and you are interested in speedrunning Symphony of the Night, this is my last spiel. Go to speedrun.com/SotN, SOTN. Follow the links there. There's tons of guides, because you don't have to do this in crazy, wild, insane run. You could start with any percent. You could start with glitchless. There are other categories that are a little bit more beginner friendly. If you're interested in this game at all and you want to speedrun it, check us out. There's also a Discord that's linked there. The Long Library Discord will help you out. And thank you guys so much again. I appreciate it.